My always fear is when my kids go to internet, the pop-up AD advertisement will take them to a different site like adult porn site, or they can get hacked, malware, everything because of this annoying advertisement. I know there's a good advertisement, also there's a lot of bad advertisement. People used to it to steal the data and stuff. So imagine you can fast browsing and better privacy, right, without the advertisement. For that, there's a software called Pi-hole. So you need to meet the Pi-hole. It's a free personal AD blocker that runs on Raspberry Pi. Imagine websites rolling instantly without AD interrupt, saving data and money by blocking unnecessary advertisement traffic, protecting your family from online trackers and malware. That's how Pi-hole makes it all possible. Blocks advertisement across all devices, phones, computers, smart TVs, you name it. Easy to set up. Get it running on your Raspberry Pi in minutes. This is a free and open source, no hidden cost or shady deal. Okay, let's join AD free revolution. Check out my video. I'm going to show you step by step how to implement, how to configure this Pi-hole on your Raspberry Pi, and Raspberry Pi Connect give your DNS address to all your devices so you can block all this annoying AD traffic. Let's jump in. First thing first, we need to download the Raspberry Pi Imager. This tool makes it super easy to install different operating system on your Raspberry Pi 5. Just brought the Raspberry Pi Imager. I am going to use Windows, so I'm going to use the for Windows. You can see it's downloading. It take few minutes, and after that we're going to open and we're going to set it up. Okay, after downloading, let's install the Imager. It's a straightforward process. Just follow the on-screen instructions. Once installed, we can open the Imager. First, click install. You can see it's installing. It's very straightforward, very quick. And after that, it says run Raspberry Pi Imager. I'm going to click finish. I'm going to bring up the Imager. Under Raspberry Pi device, choose your device. For this project, I'm going to use Raspberry Pi 4. An operating system, choose under Raspberry Pi OS Other and choose the top one, Raspberry Pi OS Lite 64-bit. Make sure you use Raspberry Pi OS Lite 64-bit version. Under storage, you choose your SD card and hit next. I highly recommend you to do the use of customization settings. It says, would you like to apply OS customization settings? Because we need to change these settings. Once the Raspberry Pi boot up, we need to ping and we need to find out the IP address, and also these settings can change the SSH enable or disable, which we need to enable, and we also need the IP address to connect to the machine. Once you edit the settings, you will get the first one, General tab. Under General tab, set your host name. I put VPN server 007. Type any name you want, but make sure you write it down so we can ping at the end once the Raspberry Pi boot up to find the IP address. Next, set your username and password. This is also crucial to SSH to the machine. Put any name you want and put a password and configure wireless LAN. This normally auto-generate your SSID and password if you connect to a computer. If you don't want to use this one, the automatically one, you can choose whatever the SSID ID and password to connect to your Raspberry Pi. And also you can set local settings like time zone and keyboard. I'm going to keep it default. Now next, go to services and enable SSH because we need to SSH to the machine. Under options, you will see everything here. It will give you notifications. Now go back general and hit save. Now, once you save everything, again it says, would you like to apply OS customization settings, which we already customized under edit settings. Now you click yes. And next you will get a warning. All existing data on mass storage device USB device will be erased. Are you sure you want to continue. Make sure your USB doesn't have any important files because it's going to erase. Once you confirm, you hit yes. Now it's going to write to the SD card. Once it's done, we're going to put that SD card into Raspberry Pi device and boot it up. Okay, here's my Raspberry Pi file. Image is done. I'm going to insert power. I'm logging into my Raspberry Pi. Now let's start installing Pi-hole. First you need to do is update the system. Sudo apt get update, and it will take few minutes depending your internet speed. And next we need to upgrade. Sudo apt get upgrade. This is the best practice to update your system all the time when you're installing something. I already upgrade and update several times my machine, so that's why it's a bit quick. But if you're doing first time, it takes some time. Okay, now we need to configure the static IP address to our Raspberry Pi. Now we already know the IP address, but we don't know the default gateway or the subnet. So we have two options to check it out. Normally everyone knows if type if config. Now in here I can see the IP address, netmask and broadcast address, but I don't see the default gateway. Normally I use if config to check the IP addresses and interface details. Next I'm going to use IP route. So IP route view the routing table and understand how traffic is directed. Now if I take default via 192.168.86.1, this confirms that my Raspberry Pi is using 192.168.86.1 as its default gateway, meaning it will send any traffic for the local network 192.168.86.0/24. 24 is our netmask, /24 is our netmask. That's mean 255.255.255.0. So you can see in here. Now next dev WLAN 0. This indicates that the gate is reachable via the wireless interface WLAN 0. And next is proto DHCP. This shows that the IP address and the gateway information were obtained via DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Next we have SRC 192.168.86.60. So this is our Raspberry Pi IP address on the local network. I hope this explanations clarify that the difference between the commands and the signification of the gateway information. Now we need to write it down our gateway address and our IP address. Okay, next we're going to check which DNS server my Raspberry Pi connecting to, pointing to. So for that we're going to type cat etc and resolve.conf. So now we can see name server is 192.168.86.1. This is my DNS address the Raspberry Pi connected to. So write it down. Also we need this for later when we configure the static IP address. Okay, we got all the information we want. Now let's go ahead and assign the static IP address. First what we need to do is we're going to type sudo nano etc dhcpcd.conf. I'm going to enter the password for my user interface. My interface is WLAN 0. That's my Wi-Fi. If you're using your Ethernet, you can type ETH0 your PI. Static IP address. In this case, I'm going to use 192.168.86.60. which is I already reserved in the DHCP on my router. 24, this is the subnet. You remember I told you 255.255.255.0, that's the net mask. Static routers, that's the default gateway. We test dot 168.1.1. my bad, I'm going to use 86.1. we're going to say static domain name servers 192.168.1.1. so now the static domain name servers can be set to your router or specific DNS server like Google. So in my case, I'm going to point into the Google 8.8.8.8. So we have the interface WLAN 0, that's my Wi-Fi interface, and we have a static IP address 192.168.86.60/24 is the static IP I want my Raspberry Pi, and after that static routers 192.168.86.1 is my router's IP address, default gateway. So the third one is static domain name servers, that's our DNS servers we are going to point into 8.8.8.8. that is the Google public DNS address. I'm going to say Control X, save the modified. I'm going to type Y, yes, enter, that's save. Now we're going to restart the DHCP service. I'm going to type sudo service DHCPCD restart. Okay, if you encounter any issues, try to reboot. Type sudo reboot. The reboot is done. I'm going to SSH from my Windows box. I'm going to type SSH. I'm going to type the username and the IP address of my Raspberry Pi 86.60. That's the static IP address I configure. So I able to my Raspberry Pi machine. Just in case if you encounter any kind of DHCP issues, please check out my separate video how to troubleshoot that DHCP issues. I believe the DHCP issues only to my machine because I was doing something else before that, so I encounter issue when I restart the services, so I able to fix that, and I create a separate video just in case, and I'm going to upload to my YouTube channel, and you will find in my YouTube channel or description field or my channel list. Please take a look if you also get that DHCP issue when you restart in the services. And this is how you configure the static IP address to your Raspberry Pi. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on my next video. Okay, now let's go ahead and install the Pi-hole to the Raspberry Pi. I'm going to their Pi-hole GitHub official page, and if you go down, they will mention you how to install custom and automated installation. I'm going to get their automated install custom script. I'm going to copy. Make sure you go into the official website, do not go anywhere else. I'm going to put all this link in my description field. I'm going to paste here and going to enter. Okay, it's running. Oh, okay, you need to enter the password. So it's updating the cache available packages. It takes some time depending on your internet connection and how much updates you need to run. And we're going to mute this and we'll be back. Okay, it was very quick because I already had a previous installation. If you have previous installation, if you want to update, go ahead update. If this is your new setup, like installing new, normally you will get a like only one option, configure. So now I have reconfigure, but if you install in first time, it should be like a configure. Once you enter, it's asking Pi-hole automated installer. This installer will transform your device into a network-wide AD blocker. I'm going to say OK. Open source software. say Pi-hole is free but powered by your donations. So if you want to donate, please go to that link and donate whatever you can. Say okay. The Pi-hole is a server, so it needs a static IP address to function properly. Important. If you're not already done, so you must ensure that the device has a static IP. Depending on your operating system, there are many ways to achieve this, through DHCP reservation or by manually assigning one. Please continue when the static addressing has been configured. So I already configured, so I'm going to say continue. Choose an interface. So our interface is Wi-Fi interface. So if you have a Ethernet cable, you can use ETH0. If you have Wi-Fi, WLAN 0 is you need to select. Do you want to use your current network settings as a static address? IP address 192.168.60/24 gateway 192.168.86.1. You can say in the front, it says yes, set static IP using current values. You can say no, or we can skip. I'm going to say yes. It is possible your router still may try to assign this IP to a device, which would cause a conflict, but in most cases the router is smart enough to not to do that. If you are worried, either manually set the address or modify the GCP reservation pool so it does not include the IP you want. It is also possible to use a DHCP reservation, but if you are going to do that, you might as well as set a static address. Because I already set up a static address, I also do a DHCP reservation. DHCP reservation is dependent on your router. I had a Google router. I'm going to show you in a different video how to set up a DHCP reservation on a Google router. Now you can say safely okay. Select the upstream DNS provider to use your own selection custom. If you want your own DNS, please go ahead. I'm going to use the Google. So I'm going to say Google. Okay, next you can see block list. Pi-hole relies on third-party lists in order to block advertisements. You can use the suggestion below, or you can add your own installation. Select yes to include Stephen Black's unified host list. You can choose yes or no. So if you don't know who is Stephen Black, whatever the Stephen Black unified host list is well known and widely used collection of host file that consolidates several reputable sources into a single file unified list. This list is primarily used for blocking unwanted or harmful websites by mapping them to the local host address 127.0.0.1, effectively preventing your computer from connecting to those sites. Okay, so Stephen Black's unified host list is a powerful tool for users who want to take control of their internet browsing experience and protect themselves from various online threats. However, users should also be aware that manipulating the host file can affect internet connectivity and access to certain websites. So it should be done with understanding and caution. Now I'm going to say yes. Yes. Do you want to install the admin web interface? Yes, of course. And I'm going to say the web server is required for the admin web interface. Do you want to install the light HTTPD and required PHP modules? So I'm going to say yes to it. Would you like to enable query login? I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to say show everything. And now it's going to configure everything. And after that, it will get a prompt that username actually is only the password for the web admin login. So let it run. I'm going to see what's the result. I think we're getting a password, so maybe we can save the password in a separate, so we can use it from remotely log into the interface. Okay, it's installing everything. I see green check marks that it's installing. Target, GitHub. It's good practice to read whatever in the screen. I mean, if it's go too fast, that's fine, but just good practice to see, what you're getting. Okay, now installation complete. Configure device to use the Pi-hole as their DNS server using IP version 192.168.86. 60. 60 is my Raspberry Pi IP address. That's the IP address I need to configure as a DNS IP address to the machine to block this advertisement. I'm going to use there's several methods. I'm going to explain you with a diagram later. So we'll jump and do a testing with the Windows 11 box. Okay, now thing is I forget the password. Just in case if you hit OK and you forget to write down your password, don't worry, we are in the same boat. Now I'm going to reset the password and say OK because I don't know the password. So we log into the terminal and we're going to type pi-hole-a-p. So this command will prompt. Oh, hold on. I totally forget the password. Enter new password blank for no password. Okay, now we can enter password for the. So now I'm going to use and we're going to confirm the password. Okay, seems like we enter the password. So for this command will prompt you to enter a new password. So if you want to remove the password entirely, so not recommended by a security reason. So you need to make sure you have password. So if you don't want to have a password, what you need to do here is you type pi-hole-a-p and like this. So enter new blank password, no password. Type password removed. You can see we just remove the password. But I don't want to keep without a password, so I need a password. I'm going to pi-hole-a-p and to reset the password, enter the new password. I'm going to enter my password. Cool. We just reset the password for the Pi-hole. Okay, we are done with the installation of the Pi-hole. Now let's jump into our Windows 11 box. I didn't configure the DNS pointing to the Pi-hole. If I go to the CMD IP config 192.168.86.53 gateway, that's all I have. I go to the Ethernet. If I go to the details, you can see IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DHCP, DNS server, everything are same. I'm going to close this. Before we configure the Pi-hole IP address pointed to the DNS, we're going to do some test. Now I'm going to open https www.speedtest.net. Now you can see, if you open, I can see advertisement. You can see right side, this is advertisement. On the top, this is advertisement. To my right, it's another advertisement, and also in the bottom. So advertisement. So all around is advertisement. Only the middle part is not advertisement. So this is speed test. So this is also a test. So we can see the advertisement, and I'm also going to do a test. Okay, we can see our download speed is 211.55 Mbps. Let's see the upload speed. Now the upload speed is 111.40 Mbps. So you can see I'm going to keep like this because you can see all these advertisements in the top and the right. So I'm going to keep like that. I'm going to minimize. Now I'm going to open my CMD command. Now we know the IP address of our Pi-hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ping and see if reachable. 192.168.86.60 is our Pi-hole IP address. Okay, you can see it's pingable, it can reach. Now I'm also going to do traceset command to see, get some information. 86.60, and I'm going to do ns lookup. Okay, we confirm everything looks good. Now we're going to open Internet Explorer. You can see I'm going to keep like this, and I'm going to open another tab, and I'm going to see if this is reachable. So 192.168.86.60 admin is reachable. So but the admin page is reachable, but we don't still we didn't configure the DNS pointing to that Pi-hole to remove our advertisements. You can see still, you can see the advertisement. For that, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open my network configuration. I'm going to control panel and open network and sharing center, and here Ethernet is the one I'm going to click properties, click TCP IP properties. You can see this is DHCP. If you want to static, you can configure static. I'm going with the DHCP and use the following DNS server address. So for that, I'm going to use 192.168.86 and 60. So this is the preferred DNS address. We point into the Pi-hole. Say okay, minimize this. I'm going to open the speed test again. Okay, now we can see the upload speed is 133.99 Mbps and download speed is 186.42 Mbps. Now if I go back to the old one which we did before the DNS IP address, you can see 211.55, now it's 186, so decrease of the speed. Also the upload 111 and 133. It's you can see it's went up, but if you do a 2 or 3, because I did only one, so because upload speed it's depending on a change. So but I don't think the upload speed that much, but only the download is less. And we also know the main purpose is our advertisement, so we can see advertisement. We're not going to see after we configure the DNS address. This is how you can disable all these advertisement when you go to sites. You know, there's also malware, so many things. So this Pi-hole give us a good protection. Okay, let's jump into the interface, our admin interface. I'm going to type the password. Oops, I'm going to type it again. Nice. Okay, let's go from the top. You can see the host name is our Raspberry Pi host name, and also you have a drop down in here to the website, documentation, form, GitHub, your release and logout and login buttons. And if you want to hide that, you can do that. And the status, active, memory usage, temperature, everything there nicely. The first one, the dashboard. This is your main overview page. It displays statistics like the total number of queries, queries block, percentage block, and domains on the block list. You'll also see a real-time graph showing your query types and forwarded destinations. Beautiful charts you can see, and the left side, top permanent domains, top block list, and the clients, how many clients connect to your Raspberry Pi Pi-hole, and the top clients. Even if you click this one, you can see all this query log. You can go to query log, but I'm going to show you from all the tabs. So let's go to the query log now. In the query log, this tab shows you a detailed log of all the DNS queries made on your network. It indicates which device made the query, what domains was requested, and whether the request was blocked or allowed. Very cool. And we go into the long-term data. Okay, so under long-term data, graphics. The graphics provides the detailed historical data charts over different time periods. Next is query log. This shows a detailed log of DNS queries over a selected long-term period. The top list displays the list of the most frequent queried domain and clients over selected time range. Next, groups. Here you can manage groups of applying different filtering rules to different sets of clients. So you can, example, I can add a group, so 18 plus, size 18 plus, so you can create any group you want. Next is clients. So this tab allows you to view and manage the devices clients connecting to your network. You can see which device is connected. And next I'm going to domains. So manage your blacklist and whitelist domains from here. Very cool. Add list. Okay, in the add list, manage the list of URLs from where the Pi-hole pulls the domains to block. Very cool. And next, disable blocking. So you can see independently complete turn off Pi-hole's blocking functionality until manually re-enable. This is for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, or custom time. Temporary disable blocking for the specific duration if you want to, block that, stop that blocking. Local DNS. You can see in here under local DNS records. DNS records added the local DNS records, useful for assigning domain names to local IP addresses. Next, CNAME records. So CNAME records manage canonical name records to alias one domain name to another. Now we have top of tools that contains various tools like network overview, audit log, update gravity, and many more. You can see Pi-hole diagnosis, update gravity, search edits, audit log, tail Pi-hole log, tail FT log, generate debug log, network. I mean, a lot of stuff you can play around. Next is settings. So settings configure core settings of your Pi-hole, including DNS, DHCP, API web interface settings, and system administration options. You can see if you go the DNS, you can see IP version 6. You can do a lot of things. DHCP, web interface, API, privacy, teleport. So the final is donate button. So donate button, a page that provides information option to donate to the Pi-hole project. Each tab give you control insight into different aspects of your network DNS and blocking behavior. Pi-hole is a robust tool for enhancing network performance, security, and control over content. I hope you really enjoy this video and learn something new. And if you like, please give me a thumbs up and put any comment you like to so I can take a look, and please share with your friends, and please subscribe to my channel. It helped me to grow my channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on my next video.